I am indeed with Tar Heel Athletic Director Bubba Cunningham. And Bubba, thanks so much for joining us today and looking forward to spending a few minutes with you.
Well, thanks, Jones. I always appreciate the opportunity to be with you.
And we were just talking to Coach Fedora about this a second ago on the show. This has been an incredibly successful start to the year, kind of across the board for Carolina athletics.
I don't think I've ever been a part of a school that's had a faster start than we've had this year. Between men's soccer, women's soccer, field hockey, football, it's volleyball. It has been a terrific start.
Football specific questions, Bubba, and we do have a couple wanted to get to. You had a big announcement last week about Tar Heel downtown for the Miami game, which is coming up Thursday, October 17th, of course, where the athletic department and the town of Chapel Hill came together to create a pretty unique event.
You're right. And, you know, we're playing a Thursday night game, which is rare for us, and fortunately, because I think the Saturday game day is terrific and the town gets behind it. But the partnership between the university and the town has been terrific. And that whole effort has been led on our campus by Rick Steinbacher, who has done a terrific job. But we're so excited about having it right on Franklin Street and closing Franklin Street and really making that the downtown Tar Heel town for that particular game, and then have everybody come to campus for the game against Miami. And it's a great way to really experience downtown Chapel Hill and the campus itself.
You mentioned Tar Heel Town. I know that is something you guys are putting a lot of effort into to make that the best experience possible for Tar Heel fans.
You're right. We talk about the game day experience. We talk about not just a football game, not just a 3.5-hour event, but making it all day, coming to campus and seeing campus, going and walk past the old well, go to Polk Place, go to the rest of campus and just walk and be a part of it. So we're really trying to concentrate it right next to Keenan Stadium, and then as it grows, we think we can develop it across campus and likely to be downtown for some other games as well.
So many people are interested in the kickoff times. It seems like Carolina is at noon or 12:30 a ton, particularly when playing at home. Ultimately, TV makes that decision. Is there something Carolina can do about that, though?
Well, I've asked a lot of questions. So our TV partners, ESPN is a great partner, Raycom is a terrific partner, and we value that relationship. But I'm as frustrated as everybody else about playing all these games at noon. And we've worked together to try to figure out how we can get fewer of those noon games, particularly early in the year. But, you know, the picking order is such that ESPN selects first. And quite frankly, in the last couple of years, they're going to pick Miami, Florida State, Clemson, and Virginia Tech. Then it goes to the Raycom, to our partner, the ACC Network, and we're a great selection for the ACC Network. And then if you're not selected by them, then it could go to ESPN3 and you could set your own time. But we never seem to clear both filters to select our own time, and we're not in the top 4 to be selected for one of the ESPN games. So if we win more, we'll get there. In the meantime, we're working with the ACC Network to try to give us some relief so that we don't always play at noon.
I know we talked about the game day experience, and part of that is when you're actually in the stadium. 5 years from now, what do you think Keenan Stadium and the Smith Center too, what do you think those two buildings are going to look like from a seating perspective and an in-game experience perspective? Well,
we hope we're enhancing the in-game experience all the time. I mean, again, back to Rick and the marketing staff, they have done a marvelous job with the video boards and the game day presentation. You know, we're working really hard to ensure that students want to come, because long-term, they're going to become the alumni, they're going to be the donors, they're going to be a part of the Carolina tradition for years to come. So we really do gear our efforts toward the students. So if I had to look forward, you know, I think the Blue Zone has been terrific. You know, I think that if you've ever been in the Blue Zone during the game, which you probably haven't, there are kids everywhere. So I think we really are developing a lot of people that are going to be long-term Tar Heel fans. Now, they have done a great job filling that up. I'd like to have some more premium seating in basketball in the next 10 years. We want to make that experience of coming to the game something that is very, very important, and you don't want to pass up the experience of being in the stadium, being in the arena to watch it on television.
Bubba, internally, kind of within the athletic department, you're pushing a pretty big customer service initiative. What are you hoping to accomplish with that, and why is that important to you?
Well, I believe all of Carolina is about serving the community, whether it's the alumni that come back to the community, whether it's high school kids that are looking to go to college, and then most particularly the 18,000 undergraduates and 12,000 grad students. It's those 30,000 students that we're serving. So I believe that if we provide outstanding service, it's a much better environment if we give people what they're looking for. And so we have engaged Disney, and we want the people that come to our basketball arena and come to the football stadium or any of our Olympic sports to have just a great experience and say, I want to come back, I'd like to spend my time there, because it's such a welcoming environment.
Just one more thing, and we're, of course, with Tar Heel Athletic Director Bubba Cunningham. Earlier this month, the Rawlings panel released a report and recommendations about finding balance between academics and athletics at Carolina and across college athletics. I know that's something you think a lot about. What were your opinions on the report?
Well, first of all, they put a lot of time and effort into it, and I think there's a lot of very thoughtful ideas in there. I think some of the things we have tried to implement, we've had moderate success at some and more success at others. It creates a great platform for national dialogue. You know, I think that Carolina really has balanced that academic achievement and athletic excellence very well for a number of years, but I always think there's more room to talk about it and ways we can get better. The NCAA is a dynamic organization that has evolved over time. Dynamic is probably the wrong term because dynamic implies it's more quick than most people would give it credit for. But I think it has changed over time, and I think as we continue to look at the academic standards, we continue to look at the 20-hour rule, we look at the governance structure, I think all of those things are important for the national dialogue, and I think we have a good dialogue going across our campus. And how do we get better? We've done things very well, but we always have room for improvement, and I think that's what the report gives us the opportunity to do.
Gosh, I wish we had more time. You just want to do this every week? You want to have 5, 10 minutes we can just break all this down?
Well, I love it. I really appreciate the time, and we are, as you mentioned at the top, that we're off to a great start, and Coach Fedora has done a terrific job in building a championship culture within the football program, and I'm excited about the rest of the season.
That's Athletic Director Bubba Cunningham joining us here on Inside Carolina Football.